Joe, thank you. Now, the Queen's speech contained many different pieces of proposed legislation, and that included plans to ban all junk food adverts from TV and online before the watershed, which, of course, is 9 o'clock in the evening. Well, let's talk to Andrew Crook, Vice Chair of the British Takeaway Campaign, and Ben Reynolds, Deputy Chief Executive of the food charity Sustain. Good to see you both this morning. I mean, Ben, what do you think the effect of fast food advertising is on young people?
I mean, it's huge. Advertising works. If companies, if it didn't, companies wouldn't spend millions and millions of pounds on it. And when it comes to food and drink, overwhelmingly adverts are for unhealthy options. Recent studies show that being bombarded with junk food ads could lead teens to eat 500 extra snacks in a year, compared to those who watch less on TV or online. So it's unquestionable this is going to have a huge impact. And it's a real victory for children, victory for parents, and a real victory for the nation's health.
Andrew, you're not happy with this, are you?
No, I think we don't pitch our advertising at children. I think a lot of the posts that I do for my own business and a lot of my colleagues in the wider takeaway industry aim their adverts. It's just basically customer contact and just letting them know that what they're up to, it's attracting attention and hopefully driving a little bit of traffic towards the website. And, it's not targeted. We can't do TV adverts. We have to have that contact. And just like we've got a physical presence in the real world, we need a virtual presence as well.
So how is this, from what you understand, from what we've seen so far, how will this online ban directly affect you? I mean, will you have to take everything off now?
No, I think we're allowed to do posts about staff or uncooked food. I think would probably be all right. But we haven't got the budgets to do a TV advert after 9 o'clock. So I think we need an exemption for small businesses. It's going to affect jobs if we don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the problem, Ben, isn't it? I mean, it's the sort of unintended consequences of this. If it's going to start affecting small businesses, so running a legitimate takeaway business, that's not necessarily right, is it?
No, I mean, I think you're right. We're going to be seeing the detail from government in the coming days, and I think there will be sensible caveats when it comes to small businesses. I mean, this is about creating a level playing field. I'll be interested in what Andrew thinks around, actually, he would no longer have to compete with the multi-million-pound marketing might of some of those multinationals who you'd normally be up against. And I think it's important to remember the bigger picture. We need these restrictions for online junk food advertising because we're seeing these adverts everywhere, and the majority of digital advertising spend is actually coming from large retailers, delivery platforms, and multinational brands. But I think Andrew is right to kind of flag: are there needs for some exemptions? And I think the government are going to be coming out with more details on that shortly.
Yeah, I mean, it raises an interesting point there, Andrew. I mean, what do you think? It is in some respect removing some of your competition.
It is, but I think the big businesses will find different ways to reach the consumers. And I think, as I say, they've got the advertising spend as well, so they can afford the advertising. They can find innovative ways. It's the smaller businesses, and a small business, I class as one that can't do that advertising for themselves. Not somebody with 250 employees. I think it's, I've got members that have got 600 employees, but they can't afford a TV advert. So I think there just needs to be a bit of common sense from government, especially coming out of the pandemic. There's a state of flux in hospitality, and we just need that support.
Yeah, I guess the argument could be, though, Andrew, that things like social media, things like Instagram, whoever you intend your audience to be, that is going to be picked up more by young people who obviously the government's more concerned about when it comes to fast food.
Well, we do make a point in not targeting young people. It's all just about awareness and what the proposal. If we don't get an exemption, it's tantamount to blacking out my shop windows. It's just our point of contact with the customer and just let them know what we're doing. It also gives us the opportunity to tell them what healthy options we've got or healthier improvements that we've made. The problem with the profiling that they use, it doesn't take into account portion size. It's per 100 grams. And I think that needs to be looked at as well.
OK. When it comes to whatever we're eating, Ben, and particularly when it comes to children and young people, with some of these measures, are we abdicating responsibility as parents for all of this? Parents need to be able to put their foot down and actually direct their children in the right area, don't we? Shouldn't they?
I mean, this doesn't negate the fact that, ultimately it's individual responsibility, it's parents' responsibility, but it's not purely that. I think what we've seen is, the government needs to step in. This is costing our NHS billions. is leading the UK to have one of the biggest problems with diets in Europe. Junk food is very profitable and businesses need to have a level playing field. We need to make sure that actually it's easier for parents to be making the right choice. Now, actually sort of putting, we hear from parents, we hear from children all the time who are sick and tired of being nudged to buy more, to eat more, particularly junk food. So it's actually, this will help empower parents. And it's important to say as well that this is not a ban on advertising. This is a restriction on advertising unhealthy products. Those companies that want to advertise healthy products, fine, go ahead. In fact, this might actually see a boom in more healthy products being advertised on our screens.
Just a quick thought on that, Andrew. I mean, could this help persuade you to, to make your menus a little bit healthier, do you think, if it helps with the advertising?
We think we've got fish and chips as healthy as it can be. We manage our oils. I've actually got a machine here that tests the quality of the oil every morning. We've got state-of-the-art equipment. But whatever we do will not meet the profiling that they use for HFSS, the high fat, salt and sugar. And we think fish and chips as part of a balanced controlled diet is a healthy option, as many other takeaways are. We've never had so much choice. And I think 73% of takeaways offer a smaller portion. So the options are there for people, and it's about giving people a choice and giving them the information about making healthy decisions.
Okay, look, really good to talk to both of you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now,